Now, I'm just going to say this may come as a surprise to some of you, but the major holidays always show up on the calendar at the same time each year.
Every single year.
I know. In the United States, many of us celebrate holidays like Thanksgiving and, of course, Christmas and even Easter as Christians. But other faiths or traditions may celebrate Hanukkah, Ramadan, Diwali, or other cultural, ethnic, and religious celebrations.
There's a lot of them.
There are, but regardless of what you celebrate, the solution for working that out with your families is still the same.
You need to be intentional.
Be intentional. We like that word. So be prepared to compromise and to set reasonable and firm boundaries with your families.
Another thing you should do is discuss with your spouse how and what and when you plan to do for the holiday.
Wow.
Yeah, that way when a family...
There's a lot of differences when it comes to families and their traditions.
Absolutely. So what we're saying is try to find a compromise. So consider, as a couple and new family, consider picking and choosing the things like dinners, events, and traditions that are most important to you, and then blend them together as a new family. You could also find some new and different traditions, things that are based on what you like and don't like. Create new traditions that would be suitable for your immediate family.
That'd be a great idea.
Yeah, for many, it's difficult to meet the expectations of the extended family,
It is.
particularly parents, and their expectations of where and when and what that they assume you will be involved in their times of celebration.
Certainly. And as a newlywed, there's a lot of pressure, but even when the kids come, the pressure increases. Okay, let me give you an example. In my first marriage, and yes, by the way, Debster and I have been married before.
We
No
have.
way.
My first wife and I, every Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, we would do the same routine. We lived in Arlington, Texas, and my parents were in South Fort Worth, and so we go see them, and then we would go see her grandparents, which were at far northwest Fort Worth. And then after that, we go see her dad, which was in south of Tyler, Texas. And then we would come all the way back to Arlington. And so, I don't know if you're familiar with the North Texas area, but we were exhausted because that's over 6 hours of just drive time on every single holiday.
I'm not kidding,
Of course,
bro.
many times the families were unhappy because we weren't there at the right time or at a time that they preferred.
Or you didn't spend enough time with them.
Yes, because we had other places to go as
Or
well.
you didn't eat all the food they provided to you because you were
I've
stuffed.
probably eaten too much food in my life, but so who knows, right?
Yeah.
And so that created all kinds of tension and sometimes resentment. It made for a very long day, and so oftentimes the holidays were not very enjoyable. And that happened because I did a poor job of setting boundaries and managing expectations.
Yes.
Now, if you're living in a blended family, there are even more layers in addition to the regular stresses, often plunging you into the pattern of stretching yourself too thin, working so hard trying to please the relatives and friends and family, and taking care of others at the expense of your own sanity, which often turns the holidays into a season of dread.
The dreadful holidays. Maybe that's why they're
I
called
want
that.
it to be joyful.
I want to be happy about it. Greg, Albert Einstein said that insanity is defined by doing the same thing the same way, but expecting different results.
That's insane.
Yeah, so to salvage your sanity, what we want you to know is carve out some time for conversations with your spouse and about the when and the how and the where before the family starts asking, you coming over for Christmas this year?
As I said earlier, Debster and I have been married before, but we've been married 30 years to each other. And we chose to, in order to not put any additional stress on our children, that we accommodated to appease our former spouses and let them choose what they were going to do for the holidays. Our goal was to lessen the stress so they wouldn't have to choose between the two parents.
All right.
In one year, we had all of our kids present at Thanksgiving, and so what we decided to do was the day after Thanksgiving, we celebrated Christmas. In fact, we had a special name for it. We called it DAT.
I liked that.
Yeah. It's the day after Thanksgiving. Get it? And so what we did was we celebrated our Christmas together as a family, and it was kind of weird.
It was weird.
Because for the rest of the Christmas season, for us, Christmas was over. But yet they kept playing commercials, and the store still had all their sales on for Christmas, and they kept playing songs on the radio.
Yeah.
And so, but we had a good time.
We did. The little kids, the younger kids still wanted Christmas presents too, which was like weird because we already had Christmas.
Exactly. Romans 12:18 says, as much as it is possible, and it depends on you, live peaceably with all men. You'll never achieve perfection, and that is not the goal. But you can be more successful and increase your peace in your home, even by 1, 2, or 3%, and you're just moving the needle towards peace.
Yeah, and even that little 1, 2, or 3% can make a big difference, and it'll be noticeable.
Yep.
You know, that scripture that you provided us is a great approach. We can begin to exhibit our love to our spouse, to our children, to our extended families by taking responsibility, first of all, for ourselves, and then follow the admonition of the love chapter. If you don't know what the love chapter is, it's 1 Corinthians 13, and we're going to share a little bit with you right now from verses 4 through 7 about what love is and how we can pattern ourselves after that example. Love is patient.
Love is kind.
It does not envy.
It does not boast.
It isn't proud.
It does not dishonor others.
It does not seek itself.
And is not easily angered.
It keeps no record of wrongs.
And love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth.
It's always protecting.
Always trusts.
Always hopes.
Always perseveres. So this is Debster and Greg on marriage. We love y'all and we want the best for you and your marriage, especially around the holiday times. So when you have a better marriage,
your children will have a better life.
Here are some more videos to answer your questions.